My name is mfuge. This is Lessons Learned video presentation. The purpose of the presentation. The main purpose of this presentation is to share the lessons learned from the ransomware attacks. Additionally, this presentation will help the leadership to have broad understanding about the attack, including evidence acquired, attribution, impact, business recovery, and remediation. The scope of the presentation. Because of the purpose of the presentation is to make the leadership have broad understanding about the attack and measures taken to identify, remediate, and bring the business back to normal, it lacks some details. Therefore, anyone who wants to make further reading must refer to the forensic investigation report. Just to give an overview about what went wrong, about the background of the ransomware attack, the HR benefits coordinator received an email that was attached with a Microsoft Excel document. The HR benefits coordinator assumed the document was an invoice sent from one of the vendors. An unsuspected HR benefits coordinator opened the document. However, the folder that contains the document and other important files suddenly encrypted. What did we do to recover the system back? First of all, we analyzed the encrypted files with Wireshark. The Wireshark analysis helped us to identify that the attacker sent two files. One is the attack file and the second one is information file. The information file provided us password hash. Using the password cracking tools such as CryptoTool and Crack, we cracked the password the attacker used to encrypt the files. And we decrypted all the encrypted files using the password that was used to encrypt them. Areas the incident response team was effective. On this slide, I would like to share what are the areas which the incident response team was effective. The incident response team was more or less effective on all stages of the response process. The incident response process, there was some processes involved in incident response. The first process was planning, and the second was identification. The third one was containment. The fourth one was eradication, and the fifth one was recovery, and the last process was lessons learned. In this slide, I would like to share some of the areas that need improvement. System monitoring devices, particularly intrusion detection and prevention systems, found really failed. They were supposed to catch the ransomware before it gets into the system, but they failed to do so. The mail exchange server has also failed. The mail server, as we expected, was not accept an email in the first place, but sent from unknown sources. But instead of catching it, failed. And the third thing we found that needs improvement was the firewall. The firewall has also failed. It should have filtered out the packet that has a malicious code. And the fourth thing we found that needs improvement is the anti-malware systems. And they also have failed in catching the ransomware. So all these things like anti-malware systems, the firewall, the mail exchange server, and system monitoring devices also have to be updated or improved, or in some cases maybe they have to be other systems has to be purchased. Some of the recommendations to improve controlling devices. All control devices, like as I tried to highlight in the previous slide, all control devices, the firewall, intrusion detection systems, intrusion prevention systems, and anti-malware systems must be updated. We need to diversify our vendors, which provide IDS, IPS, firewalls, and anti-malware software. Here are some of the recommendations for security awareness programs. Employees should be trained about overall information security and organizational information security policy. Employees should also be trained about the social engineering attacks such as phishing, spear phishing, whaling, and phishing attacks. Here are some of the recommendations we make on configuration and patch management. Overall security policy of the organization must be reviewed and updated. All the application and operating programs must be updated. The configuration management policy has to be reviewed and updated. And finally, the patch management policy must be reviewed and updated. This is all what I have for lessons learned. Thank you for watching.